Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Mathews Marching Mustang Band. And now, please rise as Director David Otney leads the band in the playing of the national anthem. We would now like to give the field over to the Mathews Drumline. In other years, the Drumline preps their own special show for the Howlin' Night of Drums. Since that is not possible this year, They have prepared that routine for our home crowd here tonight. Please join me in welcoming the Mathews Drumline.
Something that's new this year, since we don't have all the other bands that are usually here with us, we figured we'd shine a spotlight on our drumline. Typically once a year, they go to Howland High School and do a specific night of drums there. So the show that they would have done for that, they're going to do right now. Introduce the drumline this year. On cymbals, we have Zoe Fisher. On bass drum, we have Gavin Grove, as well as senior Alex Harner and senior Allison Steen, who is our bassline section leader this year. On tenors this year is sophomore Richard White, and our snare line consists of junior Jillian McAvoy, freshman Ty Grimes, junior Walker Barr, and our drumline captain this year, Ben Stewart, who is a junior. This next song was written by our captain, Ben Stewart. It is called Jimmy's Mom. New this year is our drumline instructor. When I was the assistant down at Mineral Ridge a couple years ago, the drumline captain was a senior that year, and it was Jared Walters, incredible young musician, was the drumline captain when he was with Ridge, pretty much all his entire time with high school, and when this position for Mathews opened up this year, I knew he was the first person I called. This next song, Bump Along, was written by Mr. Walters. This next one, if you've been watching the Mathews Band for a while, you'll probably recognize this one. It is a standard for marching into stadiums and playing during football games. It was written by our drumline captain last year, now Mathews alumni, Alex O'Brien. This is called Dutch Song. is new this year. It was written by our current tenor player, Richard White. It is called Leviathan. Specific part in the band night show where we kind of move the rest of the band out of the way and let them kind of take over. This year, Mr. Walters took it upon himself to write it himself. First week of band, he showed it to me. Well, you can try it. I'm going to tell you in a couple of days, and you're going to have to dumb it down quite a bit. That is not what happened. These guys were rocking with it by pretty much the end of the first week. You will hear this again later in the show in context with the Blink 182 song that we'll be playing. Right now, here is it in isolation, the drumline feature for this year. One, two, right, go. Original, and this one is called Mama Ali. Is a night of drums tradition where we take kind of the four top upperclassmen and they all get on the bass drums and make some pretty crazy stuff. This is called Sudden Death. Rise, Octo Joes, and Funk, both classics, longtime favorites of the Mathews Band. After they're done, we will continue on with the main portion of the show, the band's band night feature. As the transition is taking place between the drums and the band, if you have not gone over and seen our fundraising table yet, you should definitely do that by the end of the night. Usually, this time of year, we are pulling in $2 or $3 grand a football game from the concession stand. We cannot do that this year, so we are getting creative on how to pull in funds for these wonderful young men and women. Okay, so if you guys could support us in that endeavor, we'd much appreciated. We just announced this past week that spring of 2022, the Mathews Band will be traveling down to Orlando to march in the Magic Kingdom in Disney World. That's gonna cost a little over $1 grand per kid. The Mathews Band boosters really want to take care of the down payment so we can bring that down a couple $100 for the kids. Okay, so we got a lot of fundraising work to do the next 18 months. Anything that you can do is how we can appreciate it. We are accepting cash, only exact change. We cannot make change. We are trying to push everything towards virtual payments. We have our own Venmo account set up. You can ask about all the details that we have. Thanks for coming with us. Usually this time at our band nights, before the band retakes the stage, we invite all the other band directors and usually band presidents up and we present plaques to them. Any visiting bands. I am going to ask the seniors class of 2020, if you could come up to the front of the field real quick. This hasn't been what they thought their senior year would look like, but the seniors, Mathews Band this year, have been incredible. They have not put a pink party at all. They have continued to be excellent leaders. Ever since in March when we tried to do some Zoom meetings to limited success, they were on there, chiming in, coming up with ideas, and then from the crowds started up again and made you out. So we would like to present our plaques this year, not to visiting bands, but to our wonderful seniors. So we have Allison Steen, and we have Alex Harner. One more time for the class of 2021.